I've scaled over 134 agencies, and in this video I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can build an agency that runs without you. So this is for agency owners who may have clients already, but the only problem is that they're doing everything themselves. They're doing setting, they're trying to book meetings, they're trying to close deals, they're speaking to all of their clients, they're stuck in delivery, and they just have no free time. From the minute you wake up, you're working, you're answering questions all the way until nighttime, until you go to sleep, and you're still answering client support. And you're just at a point where you're stuck in the agency and you feel burnt out and you're just working all day. And the goal of this video is to get you to the point where you as the founder are removed from everything. And this is what we've learned from working with clients making 7 figures, clients making 8 figures, where the founder is completely removed from the day-to-day and the agency just runs and grows without them. So I'm going to share the 4 steps that our millionaire clients have used to do the same. So step 1 is the idea of decentralization. Now, imagine 2 types of agency. For the first example, imagine yourself as the founder as a circle in the middle of the screen. And every single thing that happens in the agency is linked towards you. So everything from every single one of your clients, they're each a link. Every single sales prospect, they're all a link. Every single project, every single team member, everything is just linked to you. So let's say you want to take a week off and a prospect emails you while you're away. And they say, look, I want to get started, send the payment link, I'm ready to go. And the thing is, nothing can happen because you're not there, you're not answering the email. And because of that, everything needs to flow through you. The same way that your clients will be asking you questions. And the question doesn't get answered until you are there, until you answer it. So you're stuck in this endless cycle of doing everything yourself. Now, example 2, imagine where you as the founder, you're still linked in the center, but you have other nodes that can take care of the things that you're doing. So let's use client support as an example. In my situation now, I have an operations manager who answers client questions, right? And what happens is a client will ask something. Before I get to it, it first goes to him. And that means that he can answer the questions before me when I'm doing other things in the business, when I'm taking sales calls, whatever else I'm doing. And it allows clients to get a response before I'm even there. And then when I'm done doing whatever I'm doing, I come back, and if he couldn't answer the question, then I'll handle it. If he did handle it, then by all means, that's perfect. And what this removes is the need for me. In the same way, instead of me doing outreach as the founder, sending messages every single day, following up every single day, I've hired a setting team. And what this team does is they reach out to prospects, they handle the follow-ups, and they just book the calls onto my calendar. And they do this on a commission basis. And this removes me from having to do all of these tasks. So this is going to be the fundamental understanding that you need to have before we carry on. You need to understand the difference between a centralized agency and a decentralized agency. And this is what every 7, 8, even 9-figure founders know that allows them to build the agency that runs without them. Now, step 2 is to do something called the every task exercise. And this is probably the most transformative thing that I've ever done. And what it allowed me to do was get myself out of everything. So it is the simplest exercise ever. But after you've understood decentralization, now we need to go into the weeds and tactically remove yourself from everything. So what I want you to do is write down every single task that you're doing on a daily basis and put it in a document. From the smallest things like replying to a client message or replying to a sales prospect, you can even include personal things. So like cooking your own food or doing your own laundry. Write every single thing down. And the goal in the next steps is to remove yourself from all of these items. And to give you a personal example, when I first figured out about this exercise and the idea of decentralization, honestly, everything changed. And what I would do is every single evening, I would go on a walk with just my phone on airplane mode. And I would just think, what am I doing every single day? What can I give off to someone else? And as I was walking, I was just thinking like, I would reply to clients. It's like, oh yeah, I have to do the accounting. Like I have to pay the team every month. It's like, what else am I doing? Then I would come up with things like, okay, when I have to onboard a set or a team member, I have to answer questions. Surely someone else could do that. And as I would walk, I would just come up with anything I could think of with the goal of someone else taking care of everything. So I would go on these walks every night. I would note everything down. And when I would come back, I would put in my calendar for the first task of the next day, like an hour block, a 2-hour block, even a 3-hour block of purely just delegation. And that leads us on to step 3, which is creating internal content. So the old way of training someone is literally getting onto calls with them or seeing them in person and literally showing them like, this is how I do this. This is what button I click, and just doing it live. Now, the problem with this is that people remember like 5% of what you spoke about. But instead of doing that, when you've written out all the tasks that you're currently doing, and do this now, once you've written everything out, you want to make a video, and you can use something like Loom and Google Docs to just explain exactly how you did that thing. And in the same way that I'm making a video explaining how to do this for you, you would do this for your team. And what happens is, for every task that you do, it should have its own video of you doing the thing. And now the objection that I always get is that like, oh, but I'm so busy doing the things, I'm working all day, I can't actually make SOPs, I can't actually make these workflows. But in reality, that it's flawed thinking. In reality, you don't have time to not do this. The reason that your agency isn't growing is because you don't have these things, you don't have these workflows, and you're doing it yourself. So essentially, you're doing the tasks that you're already doing, but now you just have a Loom recording you doing it. And even now with Loom AI, I think you can even create a workflow from the video that you just recorded yourself doing, and it creates it automatically. So now that you have all the things that you're currently doing, you've created looms of you doing the thing while you're already doing it, no additional work. The final step is to give it off to someone else. So most people think you have to hire some crazy role where you pay them 4, 5, 10,000 per month and they do these specialized things. But in reality, you would only hire these people, let's say a creative director, a marketing manager, a sales director, if you didn't know how to do the tasks that you're giving off now. Like for example, a $1 million company will hire a creative director because they don't know how to do these things. The founder doesn't know how to hire 4 editors, a thumbnail designer, all these things. So he gets one person that can hire the entire team. But in the situation that you're in now, you've already figured out how to do what you're doing. You're literally doing it right now, right? No one else can do it. So because of that, you essentially just need someone who's willing to work, someone who's willing to put effort in. So the role that you want to hire for is either an operations assistant, a virtual assistant, or if you're doing a lot of work, an operations manager. And essentially they have a generalized role. It's extremely important, but it's generalized. So it's not like they have specific sales knowledge, specific marketing knowledge. Their core output is to do the tasks that you're currently doing, that you've already recorded on how to do, allowing you to save time. So let's say you can do this and you can save 3 hours per day, right? That's 15 hours per week, that's 60 hours per month. And imagine what you could do with 60 hours per month of free time. Imagine you put 60 hours per month into doing outreach, or into building outreach systems, or into building sales systems, or to hiring commission-based setters. So this is what we do for all of our clients, in that we help them to free up 40 to 60 hours per week. We give them the winning scripts, the winning outreach systems, the winning sales systems, and they just spend all of their time just implementing this. And if you can just keep doing that and keep leveling up in terms of the tasks that you're delegating, so you start by giving off basic admin things, then you're going to give off things like settings, so getting the actual bookings, then you give off delivery, so doing the actual client work, the onboarding, all of that, and then finally giving off sales. If you just keep doing that, you're going to run out of things to give and you're just going to be out of the day to day.